Oh, it's flashing the record. Wonder. Oh yeah, it's another crazy video of my old Charlie Twodogs. So we find ourselves here today with a new friend, Corey Brown. Say hello to people, Corey.
Hello to the people.
So we actually got a human visitor today. One of the few visitors to my new domicile that's in jeopardy again. So we're talking, and we're talking about military stuff, and I decides to talk about. I thought here, think of a story. So Corey, you want to hear a story, a military story?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, you want to do me a favor?
Sure.
Because I got to act this one out. I can't just sit here in my chair at my little space in the world, and so I'm going to act this one out for y'all. But this is a good story, and we'll start it out by where it is, what's going on basically. Yakima, Washington, 1983, early spring. I'm on my first deployment after being attached as small arms repairman for the 1st and 75th Infantry Regiment out of Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia. That's right, that's who they call the Rangers, 1st Battalion Rangers. So we deployed with them, and we did a little live fire mission, and they done a nice fucking helicopter ride out to the field for me and everything, and it was really great. And so we got over the range so I could actually do my mission, and they were having a problem with their M60 machine guns. So their M60 machine guns, what they were doing with them, the way they were using them, they were chewing up operating rods and bolts like crazy. Every time they fired them, they would have to change out the operating rods and the bolts. And they couldn't figure out why. Their dude that was in charge of their weapons, their battalion weapons NCOIC, Staff Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Watson. So anyway, Sergeant First Class Watson, he couldn't figure it out. So we went to the range and unloaded the trucks with the mission there. That the mission was to figure out what's going on with their M60s. So they unloaded M60s that were brand new, issued just for deployment. So we broke them out, and then we started unloading ammo, and I said, well, shoot, there's your problem right there, Sergeant. You've got the wrong ammo. And he said, what do you mean? It works, it fires them. I said, yeah, the same cartridge and bullet and caliber and all, but that's not the same cartridge. You're firing a cartridge loaded for M79 machine guns through an M60 machine guns. And because you don't know the difference, you're having troubles. So I says, you're overpressuring him. The M79 is a recoil-operated weapon. It fires by the recoil of the round going off to open its bolt and extract the cartridge and run the next cartridge home. So it takes just what the inertia is of that round going off. Okay? An M60 machine gun is a gas-operated machine gun, to where the actual chamber pressure of the weapon, of the round expanding, of the round's explosive propellant, woo, is expanding, and that pressure is used with a gas piston to operate the machine gun. That's why it has a slower rate of fire, but it's a more cyclic rate of fire, and you can do a longer sustained fire, okay, with that weapon. But he didn't understand the difference between the two, so he was basically causing the operating rod to slam against the back travel of that bolt, and that's what was being eaten up. The back end of the bolt and the front end of the operating rod. Well, both sides of the operating rod, actually. So anyway, I told him, and they said, well, damn, we can't use that ammo because the M79 ammo is loaded and boxed in 500 round belts. So it's easy to attach two of them together and have 1,000 rounds in a butt pack. 1,000 rounds in another butt pack, 1,000 rounds, as many butt packs as this big old boy can carry that's got a machine gun assigned to him, and you've got plenty of ammo for the mission. And you can fire quite a bit, a lot more time than just the 250 rounds that are normally belted for the M60 machine gun, okay? So I was like, all we got to do is relieve some of that pressure. I says, there's a gas plug on here with a certain size hole in it already that's already dialed in to what they needed to vent gas, so it wouldn't do the same thing with just the M60 round. All we have to do is vent more of that gas. I'll take my drills, we'll start drilling them out one step at a time. When we find one that we can drill it out and we can fire it with a new operating rod and a new bolt, and it won't chew it up, we know that we've got the right right amount of gas being vented, and then you can take your engraver that you all have in your kits, in your armorer's kit, company level, and you can write M60 on one gas plug, that's the normal one, and the ones you drill out the right size, write M79. And you train your gunners that when they want to fire the long belts, put in their M79 plug, and when they want to fire the regular belts or at the grade or the colonel's around or whatever, they're having an inspection or whatever, they can have the normal M60 plugs and the normal rounds will fire. Ta-da! I actually got 5 letters of commendation for that very thing I did.
Nice.
2 from the company, from the battalion commander, and then 1 from each of the company commanders. Letters of commendation that mysteriously disappeared as I was out processing.
Weird.
Yeah.
How much does one of those belts weigh? Approximately.
1,000 rounds is about 20, 25 pounds.
Damn.
So that's the story. I was going to act it out, but we'll wait for another story, the second episode of Charlie Twodogs Army Stories, and we'll tell you about John Wayne and the pair of 60s, and then I can act that one out, because you've got to act that one out, or you just can't follow the story. So we'll see you next time here at Charlie Twodogs. Peace.